afternoon, good evening, good people from wherever you're watching from. This is Joanne from the country girl, Uganda. And I'm from Uganda, sorry. So welcome to my channel. Please remember to subscribe, like and share. So today we are going to concentrate on making nursery beds for our organic vegetables. And please watch until the end, and please share. In case you like the video, please share it so that everyone else can have a look at how we do it here in Uganda. From Joan, the country girl, and today we are going to plant a few items, and one of them are carrots. We are going to plant carrots, zucchini, the red cabbages, tomatoes, cucumber, and some other items. So we have already got a program on where we are going to put each and everything. You can see some of the space. We don't have a lot of space, but some of the space is already here and it's prepared for planting. There are some of these items that are going to need nursery beds, but then others we can plant them directly. I want to try planting some few items this time round directly, and these include carrots. The carrots, cucumber and zucchini can be planted directly without bedding. So those are the ones that I'm going to start with. Please watch until the end, subscribe, like and share. So as you can see here, I'm trying to make the soil a little softer. For carrots, they require soil that has proper drainage and doesn't have any restraints, so that they can grow deep down. And this is what and this particular area can be good for that particular purpose. So we are just trying to make the soil softer. Please tell me how you plant your carrots. Have you planted carrots before? How do you do that in your country or in your garden? So as we can see, our soil here is almost ready. There is just this part that had not softened enough. So you can see how the soil is. It's now soft enough, and we are going to plant directly. Of course, I'll show you the progress with time, and we see how they will have come out. Thank you. Can you all hear the plane that is passing by as we are planting? Well, while we were still young, every time a plane would pass, we would all be so excited and start shouting, Museveni, Museveni. For those who don't know who Museveni is, he has been our president for over 40 years. But as we were kids, we would think that every plane that passed by home would be owned by Museveni, or he would be in that plane. Please share with me your stories. How was it with you? making a nursery bed, we have to be extremely careful. That's why you see I'm taking forever to ensure that the soil covers all the seeds. And then also I have to make sure that I don't step on the soil that is in the nursery, because that will make it hard and it makes it hard for the seedlings to sprout through. As they said these days, if the Joan of 5 years ago met the Joan today, she would be very much in shock and would run away. Because I mean, whoever thought that I could be teaching people or telling people how a nursery bed is done and what they should look out for. This sometimes is overwhelming, but then also I take it as a blessing. The fact that I can be able to plant for myself what I eat. So I make sure that it's all organic and very good for feeding. So you can see the reason as to why I'm very enthusiastic about planting. All that I got from last season. So here we have started working on a nursery bed, and in this nursery bed we are going to put red cabbages, skuma wiki, tomatoes, and I think that should be it. And for these particular plants, they need to be put into a nursery bed, and then after that we'll transplant them into a bigger space. So earlier on, we had put some droppings from the chicken that we have been rearing here, the local birds, and we hope that giving them organic fertilizers will be the best. So that's the reason as to why we are not going to put any artificial fertilizers. So as you're making the bed, you make sure that you make this soil as soft as possible. Since these seeds are really small, it helps them to germinate very well. Here I'm making a mixed nursery bed where I'm going to put tomatoes, sukuma wiki, and some other items. However, I have been told that some plants don't go so well with others. Do you have any ideas on how you can plant these? Are there plants that you know that cannot do well in nursery beds with other plants? Please comment below for any advice. You see, certain things are unavoidable. For instance, you see there are some of these polythenes. We try as much as we can to always separate this rubbish, but sometimes it's almost unavoidable. But as you're planting, you have to make sure the best way of eliminating is removing them immediately. So we'll remove those and then we will have them put away for burning. So as you can see, our bed is coming to life, and we are going to make it slightly a little bigger, and then we'll put banana stems like you're going to see, and this will help to prevent like erosion or something like that. As you can see, we can always make provisions on how to put boundaries for our nursery beds. So we have those stems from the banana plantation. Those are stems that we are going to use to put boundaries. The boundaries help to control the soil erosion and then also give demarcations for our nursery beds, as you can see. So this is our nursery bed, and it's really coming to life. We didn't have to use any money to do this. We used what we have. I guess those are some of the elements of DIYs. Yeah, so we are going to plant, or we are going to put our seeds. So like I told you earlier, these are what we are going to put in the nursery bed. We're going to put kale or sukuma wiki, tomatoes, and the red cabbages. I decided to plant red cabbages because they are not so common in the market, so it makes them really expensive. And the green ones I can easily get at a very cheap price. So that's the reason as to why I decided to do this. And then for the tomatoes, it's just something that needs to be home. The same to sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki is something that we can eat on maybe ugali or posho, and on a bad day where you don't have money for meat, you just decide to do with sukuma wiki. So these are some of the items that need to be planted at home. So I'll start with the veggies of tomatoes. Now we are going to put them in 2 rows, and we will separate them so that we are able to differentiate them as they grow. So I'm starting with the cabbage. You can come near. Well, so these are the seeds. cabbage, and I will make rolls. First of all, you first make the soil softer. I'll make the rolls here. I think for the cabbages, I'm going to make 2 rows. And then put them into rows like this. And then we cover them with just little soil like we did earlier to enable them grow quickly. Just checking to ensure that all of it is done. So you have to make sure that you don't step into the nursery bed. I'm going to try my best to do it this way. So lastly, we have our tomatoes. It's quite a number, and we hope we can plant. That's it for our nursery bed, and just we'll go down and get cut some grass and then put on top of of this nursery bed. I had forgotten about spinach. We are going to plant some of them directly into the soil, but then also I'm going to put some of them in the bed, and then we'll see how they flourish, whether it's better to plant them directly or within the bed. So these remaining ones, we are going to plant them directly, and then we'll see how it works. Yes. This is what we used, and I'm going to plant both bed and then also direct planting, and we see how it will go. So next is zucchini, and for this one I'm going to plant it directly. So we are going to start from here. The lettuce stopped around here, so we are going to plant it direct. Yeah. So we put just one slightly into the soil. We need to give them as much space as we can because they grow slightly big. That's it. A number, and this is what we are going to plant, and for it, from experience, it's better to plant them directly, and we are going to put two per hole, and just like all the others, we just cover slightly. I don't know how you plant yours. Maybe you can give us some advice on how you do it. But the last time I transplanted them, they did not yield as much, and those that I planted directly yielded really well. So usually, lately it has been raining, and we have a lot of water that will help us in the nursery beds, and we hope maybe it rains a little more so that we can gain from this season. I think you're wondering why we are planting near the house. It's because we don't have that much space, and I also consider this another little garden, and it also helps to keep the place properly weeded. Yeah, so that's it. We can plant there too. Yep. Here I planted spring onions, and they did not yield so well. Our soil is people. For breakfast, we have mandazi that have been prepared so well with love. Check how soft they are, guys. It's just so overwhelming sometimes when you have to live a very slow life and appreciate all the good things. So here we have taken a break to have some break tea, and since we are already tired and excited to finish with the gardening, we decided to take tea from outside. We could not enter inside because even our feet were not that clean, but we really enjoyed this meal. So here we are sloping down to get some mulches for our nursery beds. And as you can see, there is some sunshine outside. Earlier on, it had rained really heavily. So here we are trying to cut grass that can be put onto the nursery bed. And this helps to prevent things like hens from eating our seedlings as they sprout out. Today I'm working with Hassan, and he's helping me in some things that are so complicated for me to do. And so far this is what we have. Mulches for the nursery beds, and so far we have a huge collection that we can use for now. So here we are, we have arrived home, and we are going to mulch. So we'll start here with the carrots. Like I said, the mulch mainly helps to allow the seedlings grow without any distractions from mainly chicken, because around here we have so many local chicken that keep moving around. So you spread them lightly so that you can allow sunlight to reach them, but then also to be safe enough for the birds or the hens not to distract their growth. So we are going to do this for all the beds that we had done. what we are doing is watering our nursery beds. Now you try to water them intensely so that this moisture helps the seeds to sprout out. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.